Hello and welcome to another episode of Diablo 4. We are continuing with Season 6, the Season of Hatred Rising. This will be the fourth and the final episode. Technically, there will be a season story episode after this, but this will be the last one with new stuff. In this episode, I'm going to show off what Torment difficulty does to Realm Walkers, the Infernal Horde mechanic, maybe I'll show a thing of the pit again, and some boss runs in the background. And that's kind of it for endgame content. We'll also show the conclusion of the Zakarum favor stuff. But as a whole, not a lot to do. There's also a Goblin holiday event that I will show off. And I'll be giving my thoughts and feelings about the season as well. Okay, in the current iteration of Diablo 4, there are 3 endgame activities. There are the Infernal Hordes, the Pit, and there are the bosses. There are also Nightmare Dungeons, but those aren't really endgame activities, I'd say. And there is also the seasonal mechanics. As you can see right now, we are fighting and defeating a Realm Walker. It's the exact same in this difficulty level. The one difference is that when you get to the summoning of the next stage, there is a difference, and I'll show that right now. All right, so getting to Torment changes the Seething Realm in only one single way. You have the Torment challenges. It's the exact same as before, but if you click the Torment challenges and you use 200 Sigil Powder, you can now acquire summoning items for bosses and Infernal Compasses. So not that different. It is essentially the exact same as the previous one, only the items are different. That is the only difference. Maybe the item drops are a little bit better as well, but I think that's kind of it. We have a little Seething Rupture right here. These are always a bit random what you get. In this case, we had 3 elites that we get to fight. Sometimes it's just a few chests. The exact same as with the other difficulty levels. Boss room is the exact same. You have a Resplendent chest. You activate it. You have to slay 4 Sentinel Guardians. So this is the little dungeon you have.
That's it.
Yeah. And that's it for this season mechanic. All right, so that was the Realm Walker. Only the all that was added was the Torment challenge. Pretty disappointing. I'm going to now show the final conclusion to the Zakarum story. All right, I have finally gathered enough Zakarum favor to level it up to the final level.
Truly, you have done the light's work. Akarat's greatest blessings upon you, my friend.
And that is what we get. So that is kind of it for the story. Very, very little. Those journals, the 12 quests, and that's kind of it. Getting up to Torment basically did nothing. Pretty disappointing, all things considered, this season. In fact, very disappointing, all things considered, this season. Now, to be fair, the expansion had a lot of story, but not everyone got the expansion. It shouldn't be a requirement to get, in my opinion. Yeah, they've really dropped the ball on these stories, which sucks. Hopefully, next season, because it's not an expansion season, we'll have a real story. All right, with the story complete, I'll be showing off a run of the Infernal Hordes. You essentially have Infernal Compasses, which have a chance of dropping. So the Torment version of the Realm Walkers, I think, guarantees an Infernal Compass, but at the very least has a high chance of dropping one. There are levels 6 waves, 8 waves, and 10 waves. The one in the background is a 10-wave version. Just means that you have more opportunities to get the crystals that allow you to get the equipment. I'd say this is the best and easiest way of getting Obucide, which is the soul crafting material for masterworking right now. I will also be showing off some masterworking in the future, but yeah. Otherwise, completely unchanged from the Infernal Hordes of Season 5. Once we get to the Fell Council, though, the chests they have are a little bit different. So I'll show that off right now. All right, so we completed the Infernal Hordes now. Now, previously, there used to be a few different chests you could get. In the current version, there are 3 different ones. There is the Spoils of Greater Equipment, which requires 200 Burning Aether. There is the Spoils of Materials, which gives Obusite and Gem Fragments. And then there's the Spoils of Gold, which gives, well, gold. And this is pretty decent. It'll give you a few Ancestral Legendaries and a few Mythic Uniques. Or few uniques, but that's kind of it. Even on tier 3, it's not amazing. It's worth doing just in case, but it's definitely not the best way of getting equipment. I'd say that both the Nahantu endgame activities are better, and I'd honestly say that the pit might be slightly better for equipment. It's most definitely better to power up. The big thing though is Obuside. So right now I have 1,583 Obuside. Once this is done, well, I will have an additional 640 Obuside. So it's the best way of getting materials. It's quite a bit better than Nightmare Dungeons. And that way you can masterwork all your equipment. So that's kind of the main purpose of the Infernal Hordes. The only reason you might do Nightmare Dungeons is to get that XP well, which gives you, what, plus 15% experience for an hour. But those have a relatively low chance of dropping, and you don't need it, really, is my opinion. Another thing that has been reworked is the masterworking system. So nowadays, the only equipment you need to masterwork items is Obuside. So they've reduced the amount from 3 different equipments down to, well, just 1. Otherwise, the situation is the exact same. You get a certain amount to different skills, I guess 5%, and then one goes up by 25%. So I just got core skills up to level 4, which is really, really good. Okay, so that was one of the 3 endgame activities, the Infernal Hordes. The Pit, I already showed you a version before, but you essentially upgrade your glyphs that way. And it is kind of the pinnacle challenge, getting up to Pit level 150, I think. I'll show you me upgrading the glyphs real soon, where I talk a little bit about that. And what is interesting is the timer no longer matters in terms of the rewards. The only thing that matters is doing it deathless. So you could do it in 15 minutes. Doesn't really matter. Same as if you did it in 14 minutes or in 2 minutes. It's all about managing your own time. All right, so as I've shown the pit before, you get a bunch of equipment and you upgrade your glyphs. Now, I said this in the text in the previous episode, but I may as well show it right now. This is pit tier 60. Upgrading a glyph that is over level 60 has only a 1% success chance. Upgrading something like this, 53 level glyph, has a 70% chance. This one has 90% chance. I have 4 upgrades available because I didn't die this run. So I bonus 1 plus 3. Now, because there's more than 20 level difference, this one is 100% upgradable and it upgrades twice. I think for every plus 2, you get an extra. So if this was a level 80 realm, for example, it would level up by 3, but I'm not 100% sure about that. And we'll be upgrading Hubris multiple times, all the way up to 38, getting stronger and stronger and stronger. So that was the pit. Okay, and the final thing is bossing, killing the different endgame bosses to acquire the better equipment, the specific uniques, and then, of course, the mythic uniques. I have one of them, personally, at this point. So one thing that has been changed is that summoning a boss, they no longer have a Torment version. It's just that each version, each Torment difficulty makes it more difficult. Torment 4 is the highest difficulty. It requires the same amount of materials as Torment 1. Theoretically, mythics can drop at any rate, but I guess the percentage chance is a little bit higher for Torment 4. Same with the materials that you get. But yeah, basically it's been streamlined. The same version. There is no 10 times material, 10 times difficulty, which is a bit of a shame because it's pretty easy to gather a lot of these materials real quick. So with that shown off, I think that is it for this season. Now we do also have the Goblin event, which I will be showing real quick right now. All right, so it is December 18th, and as of now, Blizzard has started an additional holiday event, specifically a Christmas one. The previous one was pretty lackluster. The health tides were a bit better, and there was a boss, but that was kind of it. They now have something called Crush Goblins on the Sleigh Ride to Hell. So I'm tier 1, which I start, tier 1 reach. Claim your community treasure bag. So treasure bag unlocked. Head to the Goblin Square in Kyovashad now to claim 3 ancestral legendary items, crafting materials, obols, and gold. Vessel of Hatred rewards. Expansion owners claim your Nahantu treasure bag, which contains 1 legendary rune, 2 random runes, hail marks, and more. Slay goblins together. Continue to kill treasure goblins across Sanctuary, arm in arm with your fellow wanderers to hit more goblin slaying milestones. More catches await. So they have this Crush Goblins Together event. Rally together to kill treasure goblins and reach tiers of gilded rewards. Sleigh Rides to Hell community event. Now live. From December 17th to the 2nd of January, band together across the world to fight back hordes of treasure goblins and earn resplendent rewards. You kill, goblins gold gilded rewards. Kill goblins and reach reward tiers to earn rewards including a resplendent spark. Vessel of Hatred owners will also earn undercity tributes and more. And Mother's Blessing reignites. Gain increased golden experience from the from the holiday variant. You gain 35% extra experience and gold at a 50% multiplicative increase rate. Absolutely fantastic. So we will be getting all those goodies helping us level up. I'm still pretty underleveled, all things considered. I just haven't had time to play properly. So currently at level 145, but with these different bonuses, hopefully I will be able to kind of catch up. So I can get the tier 1 right there. There should be another tier 1. I guess not. Maybe they're both here. Let's see what we get. And then I'll show off some goblin hunting joy, but I might be a slightly higher level by the time I actually show off that stuff. And I consider this a seasonal aspect, not a expansion aspect. So I'll be putting this into the seasonal playlist. So it's the same square as the Yuletide and all these other different things. Mark of the Pale Hand. A wooden sign attached to an aged barrel swaying above a pile of pale marks. A useful coin when doing business with the mercenary band known as the Pale Hand. I think this is something that everyone will see, kind of like a hint to get the different stuff, or maybe not. Undercity Tributes. A collection of various tributes used to bargain with the spirits and gain great rewards when delivering into the Caress Undercity. It's funny if the non-DLC owners have this, because it's Blizzard kind of being kind of sneaky and a little bit of assholes kind of rubbing into people's face. Like, hey, buy our DLC, buy our DLC. Horde of Citadel coins. A heap of Citadel coins and Khazra horns plundered from the treasury wardens of Nahantu's Dark Citadel. Yeah, if these things exist for the non-expansion players, I think that's kind of shitty. Weapon rack. A weapon rack from Nahantu filled to the brim with sharpened bronze spears dropped by the region's never-ending horde of goblins. Weapons fit for a spirit-born. And runes of power. Ancient runes filled to the brim with runic energy. It's said combining runes will grant new skills and strengths to their wielder. And Goblin back tier 1. Thank you. Yeah, so we got both of them. So, I actually already have a bunch of stuff in here. Apologies. Okay, let's see. So from the treasure bag, it seems like a few millions of gold and some decent items. They're all level 800 power level. And some materials. All right, a little bit disappointing, but this was tier 1. We'll see what tier 2 has to bring in a moment. All right, it seems like tier 3 has already been reached, which gives me a mount trophy. Now, the reason I'm not showing tier 2 is because last time I logged on, we were still on tier 1. Apparently, we're on tier 2 already. Greater treasure back unlocked. Vessel of Hatred rewards and slay the goblins together. Kill 10 million more across Sanctuary to unlock the next tier. Nice. Oh, we can go to the shop and claim the mount. And yeah, as I've been playing this is essentially like a Nahantu...
I see.
Yeah, we'll claim it. This is basically a Nahantu advert at the same time as it gives you some goodies. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it calls to me. Very cool. There are a few more goblins. Maybe I can show that off. But, you know, it's not like an insane event. That happens every now and then. You'll see a few more goblins in Helltide, and they do drop a bit more. But that's kind of it. All right, so we are going to get ourselves those presents that we got. The altar of the goblin, Now, as I said before, all these little Nahantu expansion ads, apparently everyone has that. I checked real quick on Reddit because I wasn't getting any goblins. And yeah, everyone has this. So it's basically one big Nahantu ad masqueraded as a holiday event. There is... oh yeah, ignore my equipment and stuff. I grinded a bit more. There's no like bar showing how many goblins are being killed.
You invite the wrath of not one. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome, Oni. Anyway, let's get our tier 2 goblin bag. Yeah, cool. Maybe I should like empty the equipment I have real quick. Apologies for that. Let's see here, the treasure bag. Bunch of pale barks, bunch of murmuring obols, some sigils, and some ancestral legendaries. Some runes. All the good stuff. But the question is if there is a legendary hawk. That would be nice. No. All right, cool. We'll get the tier 3 bags as well. So we have the greater treasure bag right there. Lots of money. Lots of items. Obols, which, you know, I have too many obols. It's fine. And then finally, the radiant. So the thing with the pale marks is I haven't used them at all. Maybe I should. Cool. Okay, well, that was kind of it for the... Oh, that's actually pretty good. Ring of the Midnight Sun. It is actually, I think, a bit better. The main thing is that when you critically strike, you regain the stuff, and that one isn't good enough. Wounded Drinker, however. Ooh. These are a few good items. Not gonna lie. But I think basically I have the shroud that I have isn't optimal, but the Harmony of Ebequa is very good, as is my Banished Lord's Talisman. All right, it is Christmas Eve, and apparently tier 4 has been reached. Claim your mount trophy and slay your way to tier 5. So once again, unlocked another greater bag of treasure, more Vessel of Hatred rewards, and we need to keep slaying goblins. Kill 15 million more to reach tier 5. Because there is no tracker, it's impossible to know if Blizzard is just giving this to us without actually people achieving this. Like, there's no way, no accountability. So not only is it difficult to kind of plan and be motivated, but it's completely arbitrary as well. Like, this has been really mismanaged, unfortunately. Oh well, let's claim our stuff. Here we are, getting the claim tier 4. Very nice. So we have the Citadel treasure bag and the greater treasure bag. Yeah. Lots of money, to be fair. Lots of murmuring obols, once again. And some good items. We did actually get a Harmony of Ebequa. So that is actually pretty good, but I have a better one. And another legendary unique I'm not using. Some runes. And that's kind of it. So, like, if you haven't had time to play, getting all these things would be pretty nice, but it's a bit lackluster for people who played a lot. So we'll see what tier 5 brings. Probably more of the same. Maybe a mythic. That would be pretty cool, but I doubt it. All right. All right, it's Christmas Day, and of course tier 5 was reached. So yeah, I think this is a complete scam. They're just arbitrarily giving it to people. Congratulations, 40 million goblins purged. You've done it, Wanderers. You have staunch sanctuary of these holiday fiends. Don't forget to claim all rewards before the 2nd of January. So, I mean, yeah, there's no accountability for this, basically. Not at all. But I guess we'll check in and see what we got. Yeah, this was, I think, actually worse than the previous holiday event, which was also terrible. Like, the best ones they've had would be the original Winter Blight. And I also think that the one they had for the Chinese New Year were pretty good. But even they weren't, you know, like, amazing. They were just good. But these have been terrible. I don't understand why. Yeah, well, whatever. Okay. So we get a bunch of pale marks and a bunch of sigils. Some tributes. I guess that's nice. Let's see the keys. So I will say that legendary tributes and mythic tributes are actually pretty good. So that's actually something that is useful. Then we have the mythic treasure bag. Okay. Millions and millions of gold, Obuside, all the materials. It's kind of ridiculous. And a whole bevy of legendaries. These are pretty good, actually, but they're not Yen's Blessing. Not terrible, I guess. And then some runes. Let's see here. Oh, some of these are like rare runes. Not legendaries. All right, well, that was it for the holiday event. Wow. There is, of course, the XP bonus, which is pretty nice. So I'm very skeptical that I'll get to level 300 with this character, but we'll see how we do. Okay, so that was the Goblin event. Pretty lackluster. Very disappointing. Once again, Blizzard trying something and failing spectacularly. It feels like a huge advert for the Nahantu region, which I think is pretty lame. I wouldn't mind if that was a little bit of what it was. It seemed like the sole purpose was buy the Vessel of Hatred, buy the Vessel of Hatred, buy the expansion, buy the expansion. And that is, I think, pretty scummy. Kind of a shame. Another missed opportunity, essentially. So here we have my character right now. This is kind of the final version of her. I don't think I'm going to be playing all that much more. I'm a Paragon level 186 out of 300. Took quite a while. In terms of glyphs, I'm nowhere close to level 100 on all of them. In fact, I haven't even leveled up Hubris to level 46, which is the final version. So Colossal has 5, for example, while Hubris only has 4. So it only has 4 different slots, essentially, that you power up through it. All in all, pretty powerful. Not quite at Torment level 4 consistently. I believe getting all the glyphs up and maybe getting a remade gauntlet, because right now my gauntlet is for another build, would kind of solve the issue. The biggest problem is my lack of armor. So if my pants and gauntlets were switched up, I would be able to play a Torment 4, probably be able to crush the bosses. So that's kind of it for this season so far. Season 7 apparently is going to be... well, I saw a quick video of Riker hyping it up, apparently witch powers. So we'll see if that one is any fun. But as a whole, very disappointing. The most disappointing story so far. We'll see if the next season brings a story. I'm making a bit of a retrospective, actually, for the season stories. I'll probably release it in the future, maybe in like a week or so. A quick little retrospective about the season stories, comparing the different season stories, that sort of thing. Once we reach season 10, I think I'll make a full retrospective and then maybe actually stop playing Diablo 4. We'll see what happens. The next episode will be, of course, the season story compilation. It'll basically be a mashup of all those journals. Very short, probably, but it is what it is. Probably the shortest story so far. Season 7, I will be playing that. Maybe not immediately once it comes out, but I will be releasing the season's content for that as well. I think the biggest takeaway for this season is almost all the effort and time was put on Nahantu. That's where all of the new content in terms of story is. 2 of the endgame activities are in Nahantu. Here there are only 3, you know, the Infernal Hordes, the Pit, and the bosses. I guess the Horn of Trials is still here. I've still not played it. I don't know if they removed it or if they still have it. I'm curious what you guys thought about this season. Do let me know. I always enjoy the content. A lot of people have been pretty negative towards this game, and I can kind of understand that. It has been fun to play as a casual, but it's been a huge disappointment in terms of what it could have been. That's my biggest takeaway, is like, it could be so much better with just a minimal amount of effort, and it feels like Blizzard is not succeeding at that level. So, with that said, we're ending the episode. I hope you guys did enjoy this one. Join us next time when we show the season story. I will, of course, be playing the next season of Diablo 4. Maybe not at the start of the season, but I will be releasing those episodes. And in the meantime, I will be releasing some StarCraft 2 content. That will be back on the channel. And I am still continuing my Star Wars playthrough. So I upload content 5 days a week currently. And I hope you join me for that. Subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.